All right, sorry about the connection hiccups there, everybody. We are doing the whole switcheroo over from. And so that is one of the areas that we are watching right now is this Corinth area just near the state line in near Henderson County and Savannah. So we're going to take you live there in just a second using one of our cameras that we have in the area. But also want to talk about what's happening here near Waverly, Humphreys County, and moving into Perry County. Right now, we don't have any warnings issued for this area. So if you're in Decaturville, yeah, you're hearing the lightning and the thunder right now, but we don't have any warnings to bring you at this point. What we do have is a kind of a special weather statement, if you will. So we'll bring you into that and bring you the very latest. And so this is what it's talking about, are these severe thunderstorms impacting the very latest. And so this is what it's talking about, are these severe thunderstorms impacting western Dixon County, central Montgomery, southeastern Stewart, Houston, northern Perry and Humphreys County, and even Hickman County through about 1 o'clock. And that's going to continue to affect people through a little bit later past that as well. So we're still looking at a lot of this arriving, crossing the Tennessee River for areas south of I-40 here over the next 20 minutes or so. And so that's some of the impact that we're seeing in our immediate area. The only place that we have a warning issued with any storm is going to be this one down here in the Selmer area. So let's take a look at this one real quick, because this is a severe thunderstorm. It's going to expire in 17 minutes, but we'll give you the very latest, because at 12:40, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending near Jacks Creek to Ripley, moving about 55 miles per hour. So we're talking about Selmer, Adamsville, you're all in this area, McNary, part of Hornsby, so you're all included in this warning. This one was issued out of the Memphis office. It'll be in effect until about 17 more minutes here is when that one expires. Let me double check there. Yeah, 16 more minutes here on that one. And there's likely to, if it holds together like it is, that it's going to continue, especially for moving into parts of Savannah and Henderson County as well. And I believe that we do have the ability to go out and take a look right now at Savannah. So folks, here's how Savannah's looking right now. We appreciate Hardin County Emergency Management and taking a look at that right now, and that's how things are shaping up right now. Not even any rain conditions to worry about, but that'll change, of course, as that storm starts to move through that area. But as we head back to radar and we look at what is going to be affecting places like Waynesboro, Wayne County, Hohenwald, Centerville, what are you looking at? Well, Centerville, you're going to get in on this here in a little while, as well the parts of northern Perry County. Downtown Linden, you're looking pretty good for right now, but that could change if some of this starts to continue to develop. So let's talk about the overall big picture of what's happening today, because we've been getting frequent updates from the National Weather Service, and so let's talk a little bit about how this is going to be shaping up. And again, this is information just coming into us from the National Weather Service office in Nashville, and that is this big line that we're seeing right now is probably on the stronger side of what we're going to see today. So if we are going to have warnings, a lot of them are going to happen with this first wave, because there's two waves. Because as we start to look towards Memphis, and let's bring that back out, we have more developing a little bit out there that could be bringing in a little bit more rain later on today. And of course, the radar that we're looking at right now is going to be the National Weather Service radar out of Nashville. So as we take that off and we kind of switch radar sites a little bit, we can see our advisories are still in place, but look, there's still in Memphis a little bit of storm activity, a little bit of rain happening over the Memphis area, and so that is still going to filter in, especially as we go even farther to the southwest, and you can still see over across the state line there that we still have some rain developing. So that's going to continue to bring in some rain throughout the evening. So there are a couple of waves of this, but a lot of what could produce any type of warnings and a lot of the concern is happening now. And that's what we're tracking for you as it makes its way across parts of West Tennessee this afternoon, and for us here in Middle Tennessee as well. So Waverly, you have quite a little storm over you right now, and we're going to have that continuing along I-40, so use caution if you're traveling out this afternoon. And of course, we're going to keep our eye as well on if there is going to be another severe warning issued for parts of, let's say, the Henderson County area, not Henderson County, excuse me, Hardin County area for Savannah. I think a couple of the places we could probably take you right now. We'll give you a live look at downtown Linden. Things looking pretty good, still nice and dry out that way. No big concerns there. We're going to also be checking in a little bit later on our camera sites throughout Middle Tennessee, including there in Hickman County as well as this continues to progress across the area. So this is the situation as of right now. This is the main concern. Let me walk you through some information as well. Some of this is updated and it's changed a little bit, but here's the timing that they're talking about. And right now it is pretty much right on time when we talk about what's happening for us here in parts along the Tennessee River in the Waverly, Hickman County, Perry County area. That we're in this timing area here of about 1, 2 o'clock that they thought things were going to originally start to develop for us. Sure enough, that is exactly what we're seeing right now. So you can see all of that developing there. And excuse me while I make just a couple more adjustments here. And let's go ahead and talk about this severe risk. Out of the 1 to 5 category, going from marginal to high, we're in that category 2 today. So that's why we're seeing that. But overall, when we take a look at our larger area right now, we don't have any, oh, there's me again. Hi, everybody. We don't have any areas that are under widespread watches right now or warnings. The really only warning that we're dealing with right now is right along the state line, and that's going to be near Bethel Springs and right there along southern West Tennessee. And we'll go ahead and take you in there a little bit and see how that is progressing right now. Savannah, Hardin County, Saltillo, Sardis, get ready because this is going to affect you. And we can even put this, I believe, in motion a little bit and kind of show you how things are shaping up and where this is actually moving into. So you can see a little of the behavior of this storm and see how it is going to be tracking through here. You can see it kind of moving through Middleton. And as it moves, so does the watch box, that polygon going ahead and evolving with it all at the same time as this moves through. Let me check here and see if we have any new information coming in from the emergency management here. So, yeah, we're going to continue, of course, to track what's going through Selma right now. This is going to be the area that is moving, has a little bit of that east, slightly northeasterly movement there. So we'll be watching that. But again, that is the only warning in our area that we're watching out for. The other box that you see up here near I-40, that's going to be what they call a special weather statement, where it doesn't really meet the strong conditions for a warning to be issued, but sure enough, it does have enough energy with it, enough of the conditions where they want to let you know exactly what's happening. And so this is going to really be for parts of central Montgomery, southeastern Stewart, Houston, northern Perry, Humphreys, and northeastern Hickman County until about 1 o'clock. So there's not even a whole lot of time left on that special weather statement because we are just about 10 minutes away from that. Likely that something like that's probably going to get reissued again. These all morph and move along as things change and these conditions change as well. And of course, I think that along the way we could also check in on some of our cameras here to see what's happening. This is our camera. If you can see that on the screen, there's a little preview version of all of us here at SevereView looking at the Commodore Hotel camera in downtown Linden, and that's how things are moving through as and things start to develop. Now, we are the exclusive partner for WeatherWise, so if you're looking for an app to track along with us, and you can even have some of the very same information we do all in real time, you can certainly do that and check in on our SevereView broadcast as well there through the WeatherWise app. It's free to you. You can put it on your iPad or your phone and be able to even look in on some of our own weather cameras that we bring to you exclusively here through WeatherWise. We're tightening the polygon here a little bit as we have watched this kind of move through this Selmer area with this latest storm. Not out of the realm to see another warning issued there before too long. But things lightening up for Parsons, Decaturville, Lexington, Henderson County. You do have some rain, you have some lightning, but again, nothing there at a severe limit. So that's some good news there as we move through the area. We just wanted to bring you the very latest. Come on here this afternoon and let you know exactly what we're seeing and exactly what the weather picture looks like, because I know there's a lot of information out there. A lot of folks want to know exactly what's happening in their neighborhood, in their neck of the woods, and this is our way of doing that, to kind of give you a tour of the area, and we can come out regionally and even bring this out on a little bit wider view for you, and you can see how this is shaping up around the state. The good news is when we start to really get back here, let's get back in here on the Nashville radar, bring things a little bit closer to home. We have a lot of improvement when we look back towards West Tennessee, Jackson, Ripley, McKenzie, all those areas looking pretty good. So if we could just get through this area of storms here we're going to be on the better side of things. So we do want to watch what's developing here near Hardin County and where that will be tracking. So we'll be following that for you throughout the afternoon. And if we do have, and see when we start to see some of these darker colors here on the screen, you start to get your purples, you start to get those hues, that's indicating that there could be hail associated with this. So, you know, if you're right here in Hurricane Mills, if you're north of I-40, I want you to pay attention to this. What's happening here in the Cedar Grove, Bakerville area, moving in right there, just between Waverly and Hurricane Mills and the interstate, because that is an area right now where we definitely see the potential for hail. And if you're in this area and you're experiencing any of those conditions, please let us know in the chat, and we'll be happy to pass that along to the National Weather Service as well. But we have this area here from Waverly to Buffalo. Again, not under a warning right now, but there is the possibility that with all that lightning that you see there and those darker colors, that we could be having some hail develop in that area, which would not be out of the realm of possibility for these spring storms. And of course, this is what happens this time of year as we start to get these cold fronts coming in and clashing with the warm air that we've been enjoying. Even though it's been a little bit cloudy outside, it sure has been nice to have some of this warmer weather. So as you have conditions develop around your house, feel free to let us know in the comments, and we'll pass those along to the National Weather Service, as well as letting all of your neighbors know what's happening. If you're just joining us, my name is Will Nunley. This is SevereView weather coverage here from our digital partners and your local radio stations across the Access Tennessee network, as we bring you the very latest from WeatherWise Live Radar and our network of weather cameras. Let's head back to the radar now and continue to look at what's happening to the south, because this is going to be our area of concern here until this is given the chance to expire. And this one's only about 7 minutes away from expiring right here as you start to look at the timing of this. But still a pretty healthy thunderstorm there just south and pretty much on top of the Selmer area. And so that's what we're going to watch for you. Probably what we're going to do is take a little pause here, and I'll put on some background music, something of that area. What we're going to do is, because I want to keep the stream up, I want to make sure that you can track this along with us and stay updated on what is happening. So I don't really want to leave that quite yet. What we want to do is probably put in a rotation of, when I say rotation, I mean of our content, our slides, our information, not storm-related. I want to clarify that for you, friends. But we will probably rotate through our radar products here and things like that to be able to give you the very latest and show you the overall picture of what's happening. But as we kind of take a ground look really at what the conditions look like around the area, I'll take you out here once again. And this is going to be the county that we're going to watch, because whatever is happening there in that Selmer area, sure enough, is going to be pushing into Savannah and parts of Hardin County. So we're going to watch that as it moves in, and we of course have this resource here to be able to offer that for you. So that's what we're going to be looking for in the moments ahead here, tracking this storm and anything else that develops that way. But the good news is, for places like Perry County, Decatur County, right now not too bad. You're going to have a little rain move through, but when we talk about anything that's going to be in those severe limits, we're just not there yet with anything that we're seeing out there on radar. So we do have some schools that have gone ahead and decided to dismiss early. Among them, Perry County schools have pretty much dismissed now. I understand that they already have the buses on the road, because, you know, when we saw this developing earlier, you just never know how much of this was going to hold together. So I think they took that precaution and went ahead and made those changes earlier. But those students, we haven't received any other notifications about other school systems doing that. Getting some questions here, wanting to know if the Selmer cell is going to track to Linden. It's not out of the possibility, you know, and when we kind of look, and as we're discussing it, just got that question in. So let's go ahead and answer that question right now, because we do have some answers coming in here from the National Weather Service. So let's go ahead and get our radar up once again, because we have some new warnings just issued as expected as part of this. So let's go over that new warning for you right now, and that's going to be up for another full hour. And this is a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Alcorn County in Mississippi, McNairy County in West Tennessee, Hardin and southern Decatur County in West Tennessee until 2 o'clock. At 12:55, a severe thunderstorm was located near Selmer, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are possible with this, moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. So this is going to include locations like Corinth, Savannah, Selmer, Pickwick Landing State Park, Adamsville, Sardis, the Pickwick Dam, Shiloh, Farmington, Crump, Bethel Springs, Eastview, and Raymer. So these are some of the areas that we're talking about. And this is going to be a severe thunderstorm located near Selmer, moving northeast at 55, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. This is, again, a severe thunderstorm warning. It is a continuation of what we've been tracking here. So is it on a due course for places like Linden? Maybe, maybe not. It really could continue just a slightly northeastern movement and impact places like Clifton. I would be, if this holds up, certainly downtown Savannah, Hardin County, and Clifton. But we'll see how it develops because you have intensity that could change between now and then. So I don't want to put too long of a track on this because we just don't know how long that's going to really hold together. But that's what we have right now happening for that new warning that has just been issued to our south. And as we continue to scan some of the storms here to our north, we're looking much better. We still only have that severe weather, or that special weather statement, I should say, for areas like Dixon, and Waverly and Charlotte and Centerville. Right now, they're just alerting you to what is going to be happening in the area, but right now, nothing has met that severe criteria, although I want you to be careful here in this Hurricane Mills area as this kind of moves through, because you could have a little bit of hail associated with this. But that's what's showing up for us right there in that particular area. Okay, so that's how we're seeing things north of I-40 right now, not under a warning area, but that could change if that continues to get a little bit of intensity to it. So far as Perry County, you have a severe thunderstorm warning to your south that is right on the line, but not quite in it yet. This is still for areas mainly in Hardin County and to the south. So what we will do is stay here. We're not going to go anywhere. We're going to keep the stream going, and we're going to show you exactly where things are right now. And this kind of gives you the wider view of how things stand. And as this develops really over the next hour, we've got a lot of questions of what happens when this moves through. Well, see for yourself, because of course this is still the look from the Nashville radar, but you can see how far over it scans, and things are looking pretty good. So we're worried about mainly, and we're focused on, I should say, this line that is moving through here this afternoon. And then once we can get past that, it removes some of that instability, some of that energy from the air, and then we can get back to just some rain, which is okay because we're all planting gardens right now and we're trying to get things started for spring. So, so this is now starting to exit a lot of what is the area that the National Weather Service watches from the Memphis area, and then it kind of moves into all of us here in Middle Tennessee, and they kind of pick things up from that. And I bring that to your attention just because we're going to watch for what is happening here in Selmer and Savannah. Let's put this in motion just a little bit for you and kind of show you some of the track and the trajectory where this has been heading this afternoon. And the National Weather Service taking note again of what we were also bringing to you just a second ago, which was we have lots of lightning. If you can look here on your screen, of course we see it there under the Selmer area in that severe thunderstorm warning, which we expect that because of the criteria that's been met there. But take a look here as well as we take you up to Waverly. And again, this area between Waverly and the interstate, and lots of lightning with this. And so it's very possible that we have some hail there in that area. And so if you're seeing any of those conditions, be sure to let us know, and we'll pass that along. Let's actually get some of the latest information from some of you guys, just in case, get some of your questions as best we can. Can you show us how it's moving? You were in Franklin watching us. We appreciate you watching us today from Franklin. Yeah, let's go ahead and widen out the view just a little bit and see where this is. Franklin and parts of Williamson County. Yeah, you're gonna get some of this, but we'll have to just see what holds up from this cell that they've been watching, here in Hardin County, and because all this will change. You can see just as this radar moves through, what storms start to break up, which ones hold together and have that energy. So we're going to continue to kind of watch. That's really too soon to tell, but you will be getting some rain and some thunderstorm-like conditions as this moves through. The question is going to be how severe will it be? And the good news is a lot of what we've seen today, folks, we've really only had a couple of warnings in the Memphis area as things first started to develop, and then we've had this one here in southern Middle Tennessee. We've had no tornado warnings in our immediate area or even watches associated with this. It could change, but right now things are looking pretty good. So we're just continuing to watch what's happening here in the Savannah area, Hardin County, and what's eventually going to track into northern Wayne County as well, parts of Clifton. You need to go ahead and get ready for some of this as well. Southern Decatur County, get ready for some of this as well as it moves through here. So you're all included in now this new severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect until 2 o'clock today. And that's what we're tracking for you right now. So let's go ahead and take the motion out. But that showed you a little bit about how things are kind of moving through here this afternoon. And let's get the very latest scan, this one coming from the National Weather Service office in Nashville. And it still paints this pretty rough picture, even though it's not severe. It is not a warning, but some decent thunderstorms there over the Waverly area, moving into Tennessee City and Dixon. And we could take a live look, as a matter of fact, of things there in Dixon as well, one of our partner network cameras. This is coming to us from American Sign and Signal. And so we appreciate American Sign and Signal for sharing that. Look, got some clouds there. And Dixon's starting to form already ahead of that. So we'll be watching that as it moves through Dixon as well. I'm Will Dudley. I'm here in our SevereView Weather Studios here in southern Middle Tennessee. Let's take you outside to Savannah, Tennessee right now, because this is the area that is going to be seeing some of the results, seeing some of the impact from this severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be making its way in shortly. So we'll take a live look there and kind of show you how things are shaping up. We've been getting lots of questions today about timing and what's behind this, and the good news is there's not a whole lot behind this. So once we can move through this area, conditions start to improve. We welcome your questions, and as best I can, I will relay to you the information that we're getting from the meteorologists at the National Weather Service, as well as local storm reports that we get in from our community as well. But the good news is this is not a widespread, long-duration severe weather event, okay? We're just here to bring you the very latest radar, as a lot of you are picking up kiddos from school and you want to know some of the current conditions happening in your neighborhood. That's what we're about this afternoon. So I don't want to alarm you unnecessarily, but we just have those springtime thunderstorms moving through. And of course, if some of them do reach the severe limits and we have some more warnings, we'll be happy to bring that to you here as well. And of course, this is the area that we're going to be watching for the next few minutes here with Savannah, Tennessee, and seeing what is happening there. And oh, if you watch that on screen, you see those flashes? That is are going to be some of the lightning strikes in the distance. It might be interesting to watch this for just a minute, because we will see, and they're going to manipulate this camera around. This is our one of my folks there, part of our team, our HAZCAMS team. Storm specialist Drew Richards actually navigating this camera for us in real time right now, kind of looking at this system as it's moving in. So this is going to be a very valuable camera for us to watch here over the next few minutes as it starts to move into Hardin County, Tennessee, in Savannah for these storms to develop, because they are definitely coming. So you can see that this is how things look, the wider view of how things look in real time, and then of course here is the radar look of that as well. So let's bring you back down here to our one and only severe thunderstorm warning. And for those of you just joining us on the stream this afternoon, let me recap some of this information, because this just south of Selma right now. We see this here. This is the area that's going to have the most intense lightning. This is also the likely possibility of hail in that area. And it's all related to this severe thunderstorm warning. So while we keep that on the screen, let's go ahead and move this and give you some of the latest information. A severe thunderstorm warning for northern Alcorn County and northeastern Mississippi, although that's clearing up for you. McNairy County, Hardin County, and southern Decatur County until 2 o'clock. At 12:55, a severe thunderstorm located near Selmer, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And this is all radar indicated with the quarter-size hail, but we'll wait to see if we get some of those storm reports in, of people actually ground verifying some of that. That certainly won't be out of the question here as we track this one and only severe thunderstorm warning here this afternoon as well. Let us know what's happening back in your neighborhood, especially if you are in this Selmer area. If you have some hail reports, let us know, because that will be very interesting information that also helps to kind of determine the severity of storms when we look at them, okay? Waverly now moving past some of the worst of it, even though no warnings issued there, which is great news. We look here at Tennessee City. You're in on it now. Parts of McEwen, Hurricane Mills still involved in the rain and the thunderstorms this afternoon, but again, I want to reiterate that none of that is getting near severe limits. So that's very, very good information to pass along this afternoon. Let me see if we can't check in on our friends there one more time in Dixon, see if we have any more of that cloud cover. Yeah, you can see it starting to develop there at American Sign and Signal. You can see some of that cloud cover moving in ahead of the storms that are on the way. So if you're going to be doing some interstate travel this afternoon, make sure that you're alerted to that. And what I'm going to do is continue to track this for you. I'm going to be here with you throughout this severe thunderstorm warning, but we're going to kind of put things on a little bit of a loop for you and let you look in on cameras in real time. And then as we do have, if we do have an additional warning issued, we will be sure to bring that to you, and I'll hop right back on. But here's the rain falling. That's what you see in the distance. If you're like, oh, Will, it looks a little bit darker there in the distance, kind of in the middle. Yep, that's all that rain coming down just to the west of Savannah this evening. And we have until 2 o'clock for that severe thunderstorm warning to remain in effect for those areas there in Hardin County. And boy, can you see those flashes? You see it when that lightning happens through there? So that's what's happening in real time in Savannah. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on a loop for you, my friends, and continue to dip in and out as we have new information to bring you. We absolutely will, but right now this is just a springtime thunderstorm reaching some severe limits, so that is why we have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2 o'clock there for parts of Hardin County, as well as McNairy County. I should reiterate that that's where the heart of the storm is right now as it is moving into parts of Hardin County. But a better picture as we start to look to the north. We could have looks like some possible strong storms still heading into the Dixon area. Charlotte, you still need to be paying attention to what's happening up there, but things are good. If you're in the Linden, Perry County area, Decaturville, you're about to get through the strongest of it as well. So that's kind of the picture of things right now. We're going to follow both of these scenarios. We're going to track this on radar. We're going to track it using our live network of weather cameras as well. And as conditions move through the area, we're going to come on with a little bit of an update. But for now, I'm going to bring on a little bit of background music here and stream along with us. Hang on, because as soon as we have more information to bring you, any updates certainly on track and timing, we'll bring that to you live. But right now, I want to leave you with this picture here from Savannah, Tennessee, as we're tracking this storm making its way. Ooh, look at that lightning there in the distance and some of that rain as well. And as these conditions change, we'll bring you an update live. Stay with us. We appreciate you streaming along with us this afternoon, and we're here to keep you updated on changing weather conditions across Middle Tennessee, Southwest Middle Tennessee. Everywhere that we have a warning, we're going to bring it to you this afternoon. Hi, everybody. I'm Will Nunley, once again at the SevereView Weather Center across the Access Tennessee network. We welcome all of you watching on your local radio station pages and a couple of our digital partners, including the Lewis County Herald, Tennessee River Valley News, and beyond. We welcome you this afternoon as we follow these storms, keep you updated on what's happening. Overall, when you talk about these springtime storms and these lines, we're not in all that bad shape. We don't have widespread severe weather, just some storms moving through. So let's bring you to where we do have a warning at this hour. And the only one really that we're tracking across anywhere in Middle or West Tennessee is going to be this one that is moving through parts of Savannah and Hardin County. And we had that camera image for you just a second ago because that's going to be interesting to watch coming up here in the next few minutes, especially as this really starts to move through that area. So we'll cue that back up and let's take you outside right now there in Hardin County. And you can see this is from our network of weather cameras happening there this afternoon. This is that very storm that we are looking at. We also are getting word of a watch, and you're going to see that appear on your screen here shortly as well. So let's take you back to radar because I think what you're going to see in just a moment is a watch box possibly appear. If not, I'm going to tell you about it. And this is not unexpected as well, since we do have some of these storms that are reaching those severe limits, mainly to our south there. But we do have a new severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for pretty much a good portion of Middle Tennessee this evening. And it's going to continue. Let's see how long that one continues here this afternoon. 34 counties until 8 p.m. this evening. So this is going to be, folks, a lot of our area. Let's see if we can't put that in as well. So we really only have the severe thunderstorm warning that is in our immediate area, but we do have watches now that are going to start to appear and really for all of Middle Tennessee. But we're focused on what is a special weather statement and what is a warning for us right now. And that warning is going to be really here to our where we are, where from our studio is located here in Southwest Middle Tennessee in the Hardin County area, as we watch this storm kind of move through there. And this severe thunderstorm that we're watching, and there it is, folks. We're able to show you not only on radar, but exactly how it looks in real time. And that's going to be it right there. That is the severe thunderstorm that we are watching. And it is going to be moving through, at least for the Hardin County area. It is in it now. We're really kind of up on it there in Savannah and Hardin County. And you can see every now and then those flashes, those lightning flashes there on the screen. And if you're in this area, if you have some friends there that have maybe just experienced some of this in McNeary County, maybe they were there in Selmer as this came through and you have some storm reports, we welcome those, especially if you had some hail or if you had any wind damage in that area, let us know as this moves through your area. But not only, of course, are we tracking this for you on radar, but really with our network of cameras showing you this in real time as well. So there it is. I think that's the Tennessee River that we're looking at right over there. And you can see how this is affecting Savannah and Hardin County. And really, as this migrates and as this moves, it's going to be right here with us. And we're going to be able to kind of watch this storm move through. And this is the main one that we are watching. Now, of course, we do still, if we can just kind of flip back to radar real quick as we look at the larger view, the bigger picture of what we're looking at this afternoon. This is Charlotte and Dixon. You're getting some decent shower and storm activity right now as well, some lightning in that area. Let's take a look real quick at this camera, and I think we can maybe even, can we make this one any bigger? I don't know if we can or not. Yeah, I think we can. Yeah, great. So let's take a look at this one because this is brought to us by American Sign and to show you that in real time. So that's what's happening there to show you that in real time. So that's what's happening there as we watch that particular storm. Interesting, very interesting. All right, let's take another look here at this particular HazCam view, and this is going to be back over Savannah, Tennessee. And this is where we are seeing a lot of that. Oh, look at that impressive storm there over Savannah and Hardin County here this afternoon. So very interesting view of that. They're just near the Tennessee River in downtown Savannah. That's where we're seeing things right there. develop in real time. So we're going to watch that camera. We're also going to continue to watch what is happening there in Dixon. And as we take a look at this Savannah camera, this Savannah cam, we want to bring you the latest on the National Weather Service severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for this area. You can see us highlighting it there on your screen. Parts of McNairy County, you're looking better. As a matter of fact, let me take a look at the. Yeah, a lot of McNairy County has been trimmed out of that severe thunderstorm warning. It still is here for about 37 more minutes for a lot of that area, but severe thunderstorm warning remaining in effect until 2 for northeastern Alcorns and Hardin and southern Decatur County. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gust possible with this, and it still has some time left on it. And that's what we're looking at there in Savannah, moving towards Clifton. As a matter of fact, we may even be able to put this, I know we can. Let's get some motion going on this particular storm on radar, and I'm going to bring you back here shortly as we start to see how this tracks. And now that we have our radar picture there, and sorry if it's a little pixelated for you there, friends, that is how things are looking there on the screen. And the track moving just right through downtown Savannah at this point. And you can see those, the last frame there is going to be those watch boxes we were talking about earlier, knowing that we have that watch in effect for that larger portion of Middle Tennessee. But this is how things are looking right now for Savannah. And of course, our camera right there in the middle of all the action, taking a look at that here this afternoon. Very interesting view there, and you know, continuing to get plenty of lightning along with that as well. Very, very interesting view of that storm. Still pretty healthy. It shows no signs of weakening at this point as it starts to then get closer to what will be a Wayne County issue, and then possibly moving up into Lewis County and being an issue there. So looks like we are about to get a warning for these northern storms as well. And here it is. Yep, this is, let's kind of bring you back to radar real quick and show you this new warning that it was just brought in. And we expected this, especially when we saw the possibility of some of this hail on radar as well. And so this is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. And let's get you the information on this. So this is going to be for Davidson County, Central Dixon County, Cheatham County, and Southern Robertson until 12:15. And this is going to be in effect until 2:15. Excuse me, until 2:15. At 1:22, a severe thunderstorm is located near Dixon, moving east at 55 miles per hour. And this is a severe thunderstorm with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail. And so those are the possibilities. Those are the threats with that particular storm. And that is going to be to our north here with severe thunderstorm warnings for Davidson, Central Dixon, Cheatham County, and Southern Robertson County. And all that continuing in effect until 2:15 with that severe thunderstorm warning. We'll bring you back out to radar right now and show you that particular line, and that's how things are looking with that storm. This is going to be the Charlotte-Dixon area. You're on top of this right now. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can't bring back that Dixon camera and make that a little bit bigger and see how things are looking there in the American Sign and Signal camera. Not as gloomy as it was looking just a few moments ago, but still a concern through that area as well. And but that's going to be there in the Dixon-Charlotte area. And for our friends in downtown Nashville, a concern there is that does include the population of most of Davidson County for that particular storm. So we have a lot to watch there, as well as a little bit stronger, better organized, healthier storm here in the southern part of Tennessee, right over Savannah right now. Let's get you back there and show you how that thing is looking in real time, because that is a heck of a storm right there. And I'm going to kind of change my outlooks here on some things, so just bear with me here, folks. Yeah, okay. Want to make sure that I'm Continuing to track our radar picture here. And just getting some new information, so bear with me here as we look across. But what you're seeing right there on your screen is our live feed out of Hardin County as this storm is moving through Savannah, Tennessee, and you can see the cameras just right there in the middle of it. Some dangerous driving conditions there this afternoon, so please be careful if you are out on the road for any reason, or if you have friends or neighbors who are, that they are aware of that and certainly using precaution this afternoon. Bear with me, folks. I'm getting some new information here and refreshing some things as well. All right, so let's go ahead and bring things back to radar just real quick, because I want to show you the wider view of what we're tracking with both of these storms. If you're in places like Lobelville, Perry County, and North I-40, Waverly, you have some rain, you have some thunder. We certainly do have plenty of rain at our studios right now where we're located, but we are not under any warnings at this particular time with what's over us. We have two areas receiving warnings in our attention right now, and that's going to be the storm system moving into Nashville, and especially this one here to our south, happening in Hardin County, moving into parts of Clifton, Waynesboro. All need to be on alert this afternoon for what's happening there. And of course, this is something we are especially interested in. It's just very neat to be able to watch these storms kind of move in real time with our cameras and then see this view. So this is what we're looking at right now with this live view from Savannah, Tennessee. If you were with us and you saw that view earlier, it was interesting watching that thing roll in, and now we've gotten to the point where it's just covered over in that heavy rain at this point. So that's what we're watching for you. For those of you just joining the stream, good afternoon. My name is Will Donnelly. We're here in the SevereView Weather Center as part of the Access Tennessee Network. We're the people who bring you the news and the weather on your favorite radio stations, as well as our digital partners, keeping you ahead of the storm, letting you know what's happening in real time. We appreciate our sponsors like Quality Building Supply and MLEC, the Meriwether-Lewis Electric Cooperative, for helping power our coverage this afternoon as we track these storms and keep you updated with what's happening with warnings and watches in our area. Speaking of watches, we have a lot of areas under a watch, and it's going to really be for most of Middle Tennessee through tonight, and we're going to have some of these counties drop off, but this includes 34 counties under a severe thunderstorm watch the evening. As we quickly look at radar real quick, all those areas that you see in kind of the, I don't know, the dark burgundy kind of brown color, those are all the watch areas, and then everything that we have in yellow is going to be your warning areas, and so we're going to detail some of that. But right now, I just want you to take in this incredible view of a covered over camera view there, high in the tower from our Hardin County camera there, because it's just incredible. We also have what is left of the storm that has been moved, and we've been watching an improved picture through there as well. About 44 more minutes. 44 more minutes. This is going to be for the northern severe thunderstorm warning. And we're talking about that one here that is in the Nashville area. So you still have about 44 more minutes left on that particular storm. And so be careful with that one, and we're going to watch it along with you. And then, of course, we have this particular warning, which I expect to continue here shortly. Clifton, be paying attention to this. Wayne County, be paying Clifton. Be paying attention to this. Wayne County, be paying attention to this storm. We have, excuse me, folks, about 29 minutes left on this particular severe thunderstorm right here. I'm going to add a little motion to it. Move through hail, a possibility through this. Lots of lightning. Not knowing how to. When we talk about the expanded severe thunderstorm warning. And as expected, as we've looked at the track of this, it's now going to include parts of Perry County. It's going to include parts of Hohenwald, Lewis County, Wayne County, and even parts of Lawrenceburg. So let's take a look at this and get you the details on this brand new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be in effect for about 45 minutes. 45 more minutes on this one. A severe thunderstorm warning for western Lewis, Wayne, northeastern Lawrence, and southern Perry County in Middle Tennessee until 2:50. At 1:30, a severe thunderstorm was located near Savannah, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with this one. Hail damage is possible to roofs and siding, trees, things like that. So this includes Hohenwald, Waynesboro, Collinwood, Clifton, Flatwoods, and Lutz. So that's what we have right there with that particular severe thunderstorm. It does not include, by the way, downtown Linden as part of this warned area. It's going to be southern Peary counties, so Flatwoods, Hohenwald, Waynesboro, all these areas. Make sure that you are on alert as we have this moving through. And we'll be able to see especially some of this rain coming through the downtown Linden area here before too long. Excuse me, folks. Downtown Linden area, as we have another HazCam there helping to keep an eye on that and track that for you as well. We can actually take a live look here at that particular storm, or this particular camera, excuse me, there in downtown Linden. So that's how things are looking at our Commodore cam right now. So this is the storm that's giving a lot of southern Middle Tennessee trouble, and now a new warning associated with it. And that's going to be that severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about 44 more minutes. Jasmine asking just a few minutes ago, what about Hohenwald? And here is your answer, because you do want to be aware of not only the incoming rain, but for the possibility that this storm could hold together and still be within those severe limits as it moves through, because it is marching east-northeast, it could very well continue to bring some of those severe conditions here. So as we put this in motion over the past 20 minutes or so, you can see, actually more than that, how far did we go back to that? Almost an hour ago. You can see this marching through parts of Hardin County there, up Highway 64, and then we have ahead of it here a new severe thunderstorm warning. You start to see that appear in the last frame for portions of Wayne County, southern Perry, into Lewis County. So that's what we have there. You can see those watch boxes appear, and then eventually we see that as well. And we'll continue to look at our live cameras and show you the best views that we can bring you across the area as well. I'm still very fascinated by everything that's moved through Savannah. Savannah, much improvement now. Of course, we had the rain earlier. We saw that it was shaking so bad on that camera as it was moving through the area, but things are now greatly improving in the Savannah, Hardin County area as this storm marches down Highway 64. So I want folks in Clifton to be paying attention to this. I want folks in Collinwood, Waynesboro, all those areas to make sure that they're paying attention here this afternoon. We do have a Clifton camera, and if you'll give me just a second, we're going to see if we can find that for you, because I will have to do a couple of modifications here to find it, but I can find it, and we will do our best to bring that to you, because that will be handy here in just a minute to see that Clifton camera. Give me just a second here, folks, as we look there at the you can hear me typing around here just a moment as I get some things loaded for us here. Because if I can bring you a new view, I absolutely will. Yep, looks like we're actually having a couple of issues with our Clifton camera. I apologize for that, friends. So we can get that back online, we absolutely will. And we'll bring that to you. Let's see if there's any other areas in particular that look like I could bring to you right now in real time. That's going to be the one that we're focused on there with the Clifton area. So that's going to be coming in here shortly, moving through portions of Waynesboro, Wayne County as well. In that Clifton area is that new expanded severe thunderstorm warning. We are going to also be watching this as it moves into portions of Hohenwald, Lewis County as well, and southern Peary County and Flatwoods. We've just had one round of rain here in Peary County. It looks like we're going to get another round of rain as this continues to march into our area. Let's pause the loop here and kind of refresh and get you things in real time and kind of go you more, a little bit more of a static shot, but here's how things are looking. So Linden, you are going to get a round of rain, and that's on the way. We just wrapped that up in Parsons. Portions of Decaturville still getting some of that as well. But the only warning that we have in southern Middle Tennessee is going to be this one right here that we're seeing for parts of Lewis, Perry, and Wayne County. We also have this severe thunderstorm warning that is now moving towards the very populated Davidson County, moving through Charlotte and Dixon. We saw that wrap up there, Ashland City. You have about 36 minutes left on this particular severe thunderstorm warning with some hail possible with that as well. But if you look at these two storms here, it doesn't take much to see which is the one that looks a little bit more impressive right now, and that's going to be this one that's here to our south that has prompted this latest warning. So that's what we're tracking for you right now. I'm going to see if we have any additional information that we need to pass along. Still some wind and straight line, or some wind concerns for the storm that is moving in the Davidson County area. So we do have a lot of eyes on this particular storm as I kind of look and see what the National Weather Service is keeping an eye on as well, and we're all kind of watching this southern storm as well to see its track and its intensity. And when you start to see things, again, we'll bring it down in here to this core right near Olive Hill, just south of Interstate 64. You can see where all this lightning is centered, Thompson's Crossroads. This is the area most likely to be experiencing some of that hail right now that is experiencing a lot of frequent lightning. And because of that, that is going to be one of the areas to keep an eye on. We have some winds starting to pick up in places like downtown Linden. You can see those flagpoles moving. You see that in the background right near the courthouse? See those flags moving around? So that shows you where the wind is picking up there in Linden as well, ahead of this storm that is moving through. But I will reiterate again for our Perry County viewers and listeners that this is only affecting, the warning is affecting parts of southern Perry County and the Flatwoods area. However, it's still a storm, and it's still going to affect most of the county, as we've already seen one area of rain move through, and so that's how things are looking there, all right? Thompson's Crossroads, Olive Hill, you still need to be very careful in this area as we have frequent lightning associated with this, and the possibility of hail. When we start to see those purple colors and those black colors, that's what we're looking at for the development of that as well. So that's the picture of one of the two areas right now that have a severe thunderstorm warning. If things continue like they look right now, especially with this southern storm, it's not out of the realm of possibility that we could also have more of a warning extension a little bit later as well. So that's how things are looking at the moment with these two storms. Give me just a little bit as I kind of refresh some of the information here this afternoon as we track along. The good news is we do not have a lot of storm reports of damage that have come in from what we've experienced in Hardin County. And, we're going to have a lot of these spring storms. We always do. But we hope that they don't add insult to injury with what we've just gone through this winter with the amount of damage we've had in a lot of these communities. But that is something to factor in and something to think about. And I don't think we've really talked a whole lot about that yet. But for a lot of the counties that we're talking about right now, we've just gone through this area or just gone through this ice storm where we had a lot of trees that were down, a lot of limbs, branches, and things like that, a lot of trees that have been weakened. And that's another thing to consider these storms is a lot of the debris is still being cleaned up. And maybe some branches that have weakened or maybe died off since we experienced a lot of that storm could be weak and fall during these storms. So it's just very dangerous to be on the roads if you can avoid travel, especially in these warned areas or anywhere where we have this increased storm activity. Be careful as you travel out there because we have seen multiple instances, not only during the winter storm, but in some of these subsequent storm activity really across the south, that some of the areas that were impacted by these ice storms could already have some of these weakened trees and bring down a limb or something as you're out driving. So take it a little slower if you can when you're out on the roads, and just anticipate that could be an ongoing hazard as we travel throughout the area. All right, so we'll take you back out to radar right now with one of two of the severe thunderstorm warnings that we are tracking at this hour. We'll let you know how long that some of these are going to be lasting. We have 32 minutes remaining on the one that has a large portion of Wayne, Perry, Lawrence, and Lewis County in that one. And we'll review some of the specifics of that storm here shortly. And then, of course, we have this one as well here in the northern part of our coverage area happening in Davidson County, Charlotte, Ashland City. That one's going to continue for about 32 more minutes with that storm right there. Okay, so that's how things are tracking up here for us. Meanwhile, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that includes a whole lot of Middle Tennessee. You see it there shaded in that kind of brown color on the right of your screen. So all of those counties, and as we widen out, we can show you just how many that encompasses. So really all the way up from Livingston and Cookeville down to Loretto and to beyond. Those are the areas that are under a severe thunderstorm watch until the evening hours, I think until about 8 p.m. Yes, we have about 6 hours, of course. But as this moves through, as the shower and storm activity that we're seeing in Nashville, that we're seeing now start to enter Hickman County, that we're seeing push through where we are here in Perry County, as this moves through, that takes a lot of the energy and the intensity out of the area, which is good news. So if you've gone through it already, you're probably going to have some rain a little bit later on this evening, but anything that's really going to prompt a lot of warnings and things like that, it seems that these storms are removing a lot of that energy, so that's good news. But we will continue to track it nonetheless. But the good news is what we've seen out of what's happened in places like Hardin County has not produced a whole lot, or really any widespread reports of damage. So if you have any isolated storm reports to pass along, if you've seen something maybe in your area, feel free to let us know in the chat, and we'll pass that along, not only here to your neighbors, but the National Weather Service as well, okay? Lobelville, we're in it here. We're going to get a little bit of rain. We can hear it outside of our studios right now, and I'm sure that we have it in other parts of Linden. And sure enough, yeah, let's go ahead and cut to that Linden camera, and you can see that that storm kind of moving there in waves, kind of coming through right now. And so that's what we're seeing with that. And this is not, even though portions of Perry County are under the severe thunderstorm warning, they are not right now for this particular area. So just have some rain moving through. We can move off that slide there so you can get a little bit better view of what's happening as we have the rain moving through downtown Linden right now. One of the areas of concern that we're keeping an eye on for you, okay? Let's kind of talk about timing for a little bit too while we're here. So this is coming in to us a little bit earlier today from the National Weather Service, and we are right on time. So if you are in some of the counties here, in Davidson County, moving through Rutherford, places like that, Murray County, you can see that you're up next for this, and this is kind of following this timing pattern of between 1 and 3. And if you're in the Crossville, maybe moving more towards the Bedford County area, down towards Chattanooga, earliest start about 2 o'clock, but it's really going to average about 3 to 4 for a lot of those areas. So some pretty good timing calculations from the National Weather Service. And of course, what we've seen here today, under that level 2, which is the slight risk for severe weather, we're certainly seeing a lot of that materialize right now with what we have not only on radar, but our live cameras as well. So yeah, see those waves of the wind kind of blowing those waves of rain through downtown Linden. That's how things are looking, sure enough. And this gives us an interesting picture here, not only of the rain blowing through, but you can see the flags in the background that kind of help to give you a visual on just how much of that wind is gusting in that area. And we have 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible with this, friends, by the way. I want to reiterate that. About 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible with this storm. And when you have the flags flapping around like that, it gives you that pretty good visual that is possible. Some of the latest scans, I will point this out, some of the latest scans coming in from our radar system here, powered by Quality Building Supply as part of your WeatherWise radar system. Looking better. I'm not going to say that it's losing steam because I can't make that type of a determination. All I can tell you is it's looking a little bit better. We've lost a couple of some of those areas where we feel like, hail cores could be possible, but right there over the Highway 64 indicator, we still see it there. So this is nothing you definitely need to stay engaged on this. If you're in Wayne County, Waynesboro, Leatherwood, Ashland, Clifton, just north of Martins Mills, you still need to be paying attention to this because the warning is still active, and the National Weather Service offices in Nashville are going to be the ones who determine when the all clear happens. But maybe some signs of improvement there, because we would love for this just to move on through, right, as just a severe thunderstorm warning. So we do have a continuation of the severe thunderstorm warning, but I do want to tell you that some of it has been dropped off. So the central Dixon County, you are now out of the severe thunderstorm that we were tracking earlier today. So great news there. Dixon County, you are out of it. But we still have it for 2:15 for parts of Davidson, Cheatham, Robertson, southern Robertson County. So we still have that severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2:15 for Davidson, Cheatham, and southern Robertson counties. That's what we're looking at here as conditions have changed a little bit. We'll bring you back into radar. This is an evolving picture, we'll just say, because with every scan, of course, this thing is going to change, and we're going to get a little bit of update. So if you're in the, let's say, Hohenwald area, Lewis County, especially Waynesboro, you need to go ahead and make sure you're off the road now. And as this kind of moves into downtown Waynesboro, if you're anywhere on Highway 13 there between Waynesboro and Collinwood, hop off the road, stay inside, and take cover during this severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for you for just a little bit longer, but it's still going to be there for about 25 minutes. So we want to make sure that you're in your safe place during that, okay? 25 minutes for this severe thunderstorm warning, with a low probability right now of rotation, which is good news. But they have a lot of eyes on it as we start to look up to our north just a little bit here. What's happening in Hickman County, what's happening in places like Centerville. We have, I believe, our camera kind of goes in and out here. And this is, I'm thinking that this, oh, nope, it's coming in and out. So this is, I think this is an actual, this is a live image. Good, this has come back on. I'm glad to see that. So what we're going to do is actually see if we can re-engage that camera, folks, here in control, and bring that out to you. Give me just a second, because if we can show you that full screen, I would love to be able to do that. Give me just a second here, folks. I'm kind of going through a couple of different camera selections here. And tracking that one down, because if we can find that WNKX camera from our tower there, here it is all the way at the top. Let me see if we can bring that to full screen. Yes, and we do. All right. Hold on. That's going to be downtown Linden. Let's fade into this one here. Okay, so this is going to be from our WNKX tower, one of our network-owned cameras. And I want to show you this one. So for those of you watching along in Hickman County wanting to know how things are developing, this is it. So what we're looking at in distance there is part of this. It's rolling over from Perry County that's going to be moving into the area. Oh, again, only part of this storm that is in Perry County is warned. And so right now there are no warnings, and I want to reiterate that, for Centerville. But, excuse me, this is high atop our WNKX tower and giving you this look. But really, if you want to find some rain right now, look no further than downtown Linden. And it is certainly getting some of that as we watch the traffic move through downtown. But still, you see those flags there in the background just flapping away as the wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour are possible. But the main concern right now is not going to be in either of these areas that are not currently under a warning, which means that they don't have those thresholds for severe weather warnings. It's going to be right here, and that's going to be in Waynesboro. And it's going to be here in the Clifton-Waynesboro area. That's what we are worried about. And so this is what we need you to pay attention to. If you're in the downtown Waynesboro area, you need to go ahead and make sure that you are indoors and off the road if at all possible, please, because that's going to be rolling through. Hail a possibility for this. And if you are in Wayne County, you're experiencing some of this storm activity, and maybe you have a storm report to give us, if you're in a safe place and can let us know if you're experiencing any hail this afternoon, then we will pass those reports along to our audience here this afternoon. Give me just a second as I kind of scan around myself and get some of the latest reports that are kind of coming in to us here this afternoon. Yep, absolutely. So this is going to be interesting to watch and develop here in the next few minutes. Our WNKX tower Centerville camera, as we have this kind of showing you. This is, it's very interesting because this, of course, is what we were able to do watching this move in the horizon in Hardin County earlier today with that storm that is now in Wayne County, but we were able to kind of bring you this view. So we really think that that's neat. All right, so let's take you back here on the radar because we want to show everybody exactly where the specifics are, exactly where our areas of concern are, and that's going to be here in Wayne County is at the center of all of this right now, really moving into downtown Waynesboro. You see the orange polygon there, that is the area that is included in this severe thunderstorm warning for about 20 more minutes if I had to say, yeah, 21 minutes. That is included in this severe thunderstorm warning. Highway 64 all through Wayne County, Highway 13. I need you guys to be ready for this impactful weather that's going to be in your area. So please go ahead and if you can make sure that you are paying attention to this. This is just a severe thunderstorm warning, but I shouldn't say just because severe thunderstorm warnings can do damage. They can bring hail. They can bring straight line winds. All of those things are possible with severe thunderstorms. And so that's what we want to alert you to right now. If you are in places like Summertown, you could be getting in on this area of stronger storm activity. If we look at how this is tracking right now, we can put this in motion just a little bit for you. And again, I apologize for the pixelation, but we're still getting the point across there. As we put this in motion a little bit and see how this is tracking, the way it looks right now, downtown Homewall may not be too much in the direct line of this. They're going to get some of the showers on the northern side of this, but really the heart of this storm and what is showing the possibility of the hail and the heaviest lightning is going to go right through downtown Waynesboro right now and then possibly pass through and track north of Lawrenceburg, kind of in between Lawrenceburg and Hohenwald. But Summertown, you could be experiencing some of that a little bit later too. So please make sure that you're on alert for that as that works its way through here this afternoon. Let's widen out the view a little bit as we have some new scans coming in and show you the two areas of severe weather that we are closely tracking for you right now. And that's going to be here in the Davidson County, Nashville area, but showing some promising signs, I guess, with that storm there. But really, it is going to be this guy down here in Wayne County that we are watching as it continues to really not give up. It's holding on there. Places in Jolton Heights, Whites Creek, some strong winds reported through there, so please be careful if you are in the downtown Nashville area, if you have anybody maybe coming home from work, if you're in some of the outlying counties making the commute, make sure that they can stay off the roads for just a little bit longer if they can. I want to bring you in on this really cool picture that we have from our WNKX tower. This is our live camera here in Hickman County, showing you this rain moving in through. Nothing that you're seeing here, folks, by the way. If you see kind of things in the distance there, that's just the rain falling, okay? That's what you're seeing in the distance with some of these lower clouds, but what you're seeing right there is the rain falling, all right? But we're going to track that for you. Just a very interesting view. You can see the camera kind of bouncing back and forth there as it gets knocked around with some of the wind gusts. And of course that verifies, and that's what we're seeing a lot too on radar this afternoon, okay? For those of you just joining the stream, hi everybody, my name is Will Nunley. I'm here with you in the Access Tennessee SevereView Weather Center. We're bringing you live coverage this afternoon of some storms that are producing some warnings across Middle Tennessee. We've been tracking these since they came through the Mississippi area and across the Tennessee River from parts of Mississippi, even northern Alabama. We've been watching all of this develop this afternoon, and we're going to be here with you as long as these active warnings are here. And we still have some watches in effect through about 8 o'clock tonight for a lot of Middle Tennessee. The good news is, as this line that we're tracking right now moves through, there's a lot of calm behind it. Still have some rain, and we have some rain chances throughout the evening as well, but the severe level things are really in the heart of this line that we're tracking for you right now. So that's what we're taking a look at, all right? Let's take a look at this camera one more time from WNKX, our radio partner. One of our family, Access Tennessee family radio stations there, high above the tower, and this sure does help us get a great view of this rain as it's moving through the area right now. So that's what we're going to watch there on that camera. We had a nice little downpour of rain earlier in downtown Linden, and they're still getting it there at the Commodore Hotel as our host for this camera, and you can see the rain continuing there. Well, the wind, if you'll notice now, those flags that we've been watching, if you've been streaming along with us for a while, those flags have calmed down a little bit. So that means those wind gusts have moved through the heart of Loboville and Linden, and that's good news for us here. So, and that's what we reflect on radar as well. So it's nice to be able to see something one way on a radar screen and then another when we take a look at how things actually look in a live view that we can bring you from some of these tower cams. I'll also show you one more destination here this afternoon, and that's going to be in Savannah, Tennessee. An improved picture there. It was so rainy earlier that we could barely see the camera. It was just a washout there in Hardin County, but that has greatly improved. Barbara says you are watching from Madrid, Spain, and taking a look at your home in Hohenwald. Well, Barbara, hello, all the way from Spain. I can't believe that. That is just amazing. So we appreciate you folks watching along from international or right here at home. Either way that you're enjoying this afternoon, we're here to keep you updated. So Barbara, thanks for letting us know where you're watching, and let's bring you in and we'll talk about Hohenwald for a second while we have some time, because the storm activity is picking up through there, and you are included, your home, if you are in Lewis County. Depending on where your home is located, you are included in this warned area. But I still feel like what we're viewing here in Waynesboro, the heaviest concentration that we're seeing there, is still going to go ahead and pass just south of downtown Hohenwald, but there's still lots of folks, lots of homes to watch ahead of this. And what I want to show you too, folks, on this last frame that we have here, and I'll stop this so that we can look at it. You see this cell now that's developed just south of Hohenwald? You see it in the center of your screen. It's these types of storms that have the chance to develop quickly and have intensify quickly. And so this is part of what the National Weather Service has been watching throughout the day. And we're talking about when we were looking at hazards, and they were kind of saying, here's some of the hazards that could happen early on, is if we do have these little storms that develop ahead of the line, which is what this is, even though the line is just right there, they have the energy, they have the ingredients needed to possibly intensify. So be careful right there between, excuse me, in Lewis County. They're just south of Highway 20, coming up just north of Napier. You want to make sure that you're watching that little cell, because it could produce some hail as well. But this is really what we're focused on here with Waynesboro right now. Moving through downtown, it's going to be heading up towards Highway 99, up Highway 64. The National Weather Service letting us know that Dixon County has about 900 customers without power at the moment. And that is one of the very real possibilities that we can have with this, is even more so than other storm situations we could track. This is unique for us because we have so many trees that are weakened already because of the storms. And if you've been in these areas that have been impacted by the ice storm, think about, as you're still driving around, especially in some of the rural counties that are very much in cleanup mode, there are crews out every day still closing down roads, trying to trim up the trees. You know, some of these branches that are still dangling. That's my impression of a dangling branch right there, by the way. But they're trying to get a lot of those cleared out of the way because they are dying and they could be a big hazard on the roads. So this is a very unique spot in the fact that we don't have a lot of the spring growth yet. We have some very weakened trees because of the ice storm, and that is adding extra hazard to these wind gusts. And so if we're talking anywhere between these 40 and 60 mile per hour wind gusts, which is what we're seeing, it's not going to take very much, friends, for those tree limbs to come down. So please be aware of that as you travel here this afternoon. I would expect that this National Weather Service severe weather warning is going to continue beyond the area that we see right now, but they will be the ones to make that decision here shortly. We have about 12 minutes left on this particular warning that we're discussing here, that is just over the heart of Waynesboro. This has about 12 minutes left in this particular warning, but I would not be surprised if a new polygon is issued here shortly. Looking better, though, for places like southern Perry County. Still have some storm activity and some showers and lightning every now and then, but some improvement there. Collinwood, right at the intersection there, and Highway 13 is about to get some of the rain and some lightning strikes as well, but really the heart of this storm there in Waynesboro this afternoon, friends. Let's also bring you up real quick, because I know a lot of us have friends, neighbors, and family. Perhaps you yourself are here in the with the northern storm that is giving us a severe thunderstorm warning right now, and that's going to be for this area here. 41 minutes remaining in this severe thunderstorm warning. And so that's what we're watching here in the northern area. 41 minutes for this one in portions of Davidson County, all right? Lebanon, Mount Juliet, need you to pay attention to that one as well, and we'll be joining our friends at WANT in just a little while for a look at that storm as well. But here's how things look, friends. Centerville, I tell you what, you're getting some pretty good shower activity right now, even though you're not in the middle of a warning. Let's see if we can't get you out there to, oh boy, has this picture changed. All right, so this is a live look from our WNKX tower cam. This is it here in Centerville in Hickman County, friends, and boy, oh boy, has that picture changed. So let me see if we can't get you another, get another view of this and bring in, excuse me, bring in radar on top of this, because this is really fascinating to see this this shot. So what I want to try to do is bear with me here, friends, because I shouldn't be doing this on the air, but I want to see if we can't bring in radar and minimize it a little bit and bring in, yeah, let's do that. So that way we can bring in radar. Sorry about that, friends. Let's combine the two here, so that way we're getting you the latest radar picture as well as kind of combining forces. That Barbara saying that's you south of 20 and east of Hohenwald. Thanks for the shout out. Absolutely. Colton's watching from Hurricane Creek, and Lisa says hail has been there in Waynesboro. Lisa, thank you for letting us know. Absolutely, that's we expected to see that. Lisa, if you are still on the stream with us there, if you can give me a example of how that hail size compares. So, is it pea size? Is it the size of a penny? Size of a quarter? If you're still with us streaming, Lisa, from Waynesboro, let us know about the size of that hail, because that helps us determine how we can relay that not only to our neighbors but the National Weather Service. So if you have had hail at your home and you've been able to kind of look at it there on the ground, let me know exactly what you're experiencing there. Colton, yep, you've just had that coming in on Hurricane Creek as well. Fortunately, no warnings for you right now. But we may have lost the camera out there in Centerville with the gust of wind. Certainly, like we've talked about, the wind gusts could come up and certainly bring us some difficulties there, because those cameras are high in the sky there. So we're going to go ahead and Adam saying dime size. So Adam, remind me where you are watching from. So you're saying, Adam, you're getting some dime size hail, but it didn't last too long. Good, Lisa, thank you. I appreciate that that update there, as you're letting us know kind of anything that you could do. It doesn't have to be an exact science. Tell us something you're related to, pea, dime size hail, anything like that you see in. That'll help us, because certainly that's what, when we look at the radar here, and I'll get back to this and start moving this guy around a little bit, that's what we expect to be seeing right now. So, and guys, what I've gone ahead and done is relayed that to the National Weather Service, so that way they have that information, and that's kind of what they've been experiencing here as well, and expecting to see. I wish we could bring back our Centerville camera. We're going to try one more time to see if we can make that thing come back to life, but unfortunately we may have had a power outage there, and that happens, folks. It's gonna happen. Let's take a look out at some of the other areas, though. Savannah, Tennessee, the subject of an earlier warning, looking much better, and as we head out to Linden, Tennessee, looking better there. That's behind the storm, so places like Perry County, southern Perry County, it is improving there. Joanne saying that conditions are improving in Waynesboro now, just some rain to contend with. And Joanne, that's good news. I know that had to be loud as it was marching through there a little bit earlier. Let's talk about timing as we continue through the rest of the day today here. We're in all of it right now in the category, the area, I should say, 1. So we're going to have this moving through hopefully the next hour. A lot of these areas that are being impacted right now are going to be behind us with this. If you are in the area that's shaded there with category 2, your timing is going to start here in about an hour. We already see some of that storm activity pushing into places like Davidson, Williamson County, Murray County, Columbia. You're going to be up next for a lot of this. Highway 64 in Lawrenceburg. So let's kind of talk about, now that we have Waynesboro out of the way, where are we going with some of this? And looks like we may have, I'm being told we have, looks like we may have, oh no, we just lost it again. I'm sorry, friends. We had our WNKX camera back. Yeah, listen, we have an image. Okay. It's kind of like, you know, when you talk to the Mars rover and it says, this is my last known image. This is the last image right now that our WNKX tower cam. But I want to bring that to you seriously because we have a big line of storms moving through Centerville right now in Hickman County. And let's kind of bring you there and see if we can't. Yeah, so what I'm going to do right now while you have kind of the dual screen there, I'm zooming in right now on what we're seeing in Hickman County. And let's talk about our neighbors there, because I know we have some folks watching through Hickman County. And so we have that radar overlay. So what you see on the bottom right of your screen is going to be majority of that on your Quality Building Supplier Live radar. There is a lot of the storm activity through Hickman County. This is not severe warned. There is no warning for Hickman County. However, you do have plenty of rain, do have a little bit of lightning, a little bit of wind, and we can see these images still coming in right now. Looks like maybe some of that heaviest of rain has moved past our tower location, but we can still see some of the wind blowing it around. So as you see those kind of images refresh and things like that, that's what's happening there with our WNKX tower cam. Briefly, let's go full screen with the radar just because I want to show you this so you can see downtown Centerville. You're on top of it right now. But this is going to be moving towards Little Lot. It's going to be moving towards Mill Creek. Fairfield, you're going to be in on this shortly if you aren't already. But again, that's just the front moving through. That's the line. That is not a warning right now. Adam saying he just drove through that core in Waynesboro. And Adam, how was it? Did it move your car around a little bit? How was the wind? Any conditions that you feel safe describing for us? Please feel free to do so. And we'll relay that information. But yeah, and this is a new severe thunderstorm warning that's coming in. So what I want to do, friends, because we're about to see the radar change, or at least our warning screen change here. You'll see this update in just a second. As a new warning is being issued, and it looks like that's just coming through. So you see the two overlays here. Let me explain this to you. You see the polygon to your left that still has kind of the Clifton area. So that's the old warning. So this is the one that is going to be expiring here in 3 minutes. Okay. As expected, this is going to now take this new warning into places like Summertown, Mount Pleasant, and it does include Hohenwald. However, if you look, friends, where this real area of concern is, it is not including the immediate downtown Hohenwald area. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this center screen for you right now, and let's go over this very latest information as we have this coming in. And I want to just kind of read this off in case you are listening to us. Maybe you're watching us on the free Access Tennessee Roku app, and you have us streaming in the background. Let's read some of this information to you. The National Weather Service in Nashville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Lewis County, northeastern Wayne, northern Lawrence County, southwestern Murray, and northwestern Giles County until 3 o'clock. At 2:08 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Waynesboro, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Again, we still have this 60 mile per hour wind gust part of this. Hail damage is possible in places like Lawrenceburg, south of Hohenwald, Waynesboro, Mount Pleasant, Collinwood, Summertown, Etheridge, Gordonsburg, Henryville, and Hampshire. So this is the area that we're watching for this severe thunderstorm warning just issued that's going to be with us for a while. We've got about an hour with this particular warning. However, we do have improving conditions in some of the areas that we have been tracking in places like Waynesboro. But Hohenwald, you are going to get some of the rain and storm activity, but so far as being really in the direct path of kind of this area that has a lot of the hail with it, we are still tracking that. That's right, severe thunderstorm warning issued until 3 o'clock for portions of Lewis County, as that takes us right just south of downtown Hohenwald. And that's how things are looking there on that particular storm. For those of you just joining us, just joining the stream here this afternoon, as maybe your phone is kind of going off and you're getting some of these alerts and you're joining us here on Access Tennessee Severe View Weather. I'm Will Nunley, and we're guiding you through the storms this afternoon as we have some rumbles of thunder out there. The good news is everything we've been tracking so far today doesn't include a lot of damage reports. We're going to have some tree branches down, absolutely, but so far as serious damage from any of these thunderstorms, we've not had any significant damage reports yet. We still gather that information. It takes a while sometimes to relay that to the National Weather Service. And as those damage reports come in, we'll certainly let you know if we have any to pass along. But right now, we don't have a lot of damage reports, and that's good news. But be careful out on the roads, even after these storms pass, because we just have so many trees that have been weakened from a lot, from that, from the ice storm that has happened. So Britt is asking, what is going over Waynesboro? Will it go over us? So Britt, I need you to tell me where us is. Tell me where you are, and we'll track it for you and give us our best estimate according to how things are looking on radar, okay? But folks, what you're looking at, of course, is high in the sky, the WNKX tower from our friends in Hickman County. In Centerville, as they're experiencing some of the rain here this afternoon. So for those of you who have gone through things, have maybe experienced some of the storms this afternoon, I welcome your reports. It helps us tell the story. And if you certainly have any trees down or anything like that, or maybe a hail report from earlier, let us know. Okay, so with this latest movement here on radar, we did see that warning box from earlier drop off. So places like Clifton, Waynesboro, you're getting much improvement now over what you were experiencing earlier today. But places like Savannah looking much better. Parsons, Decaturville, Linden, all these areas, I'm glad to be able to bring along some improving conditions for those areas. You'll still have some rain to contend with throughout the afternoon, but when we look at some of the areas that have been under warnings like Savannah, looking much, much better there. As we look at Linden as well, looking pretty good. Actually, it looks like it stopped raining there in central Perry County, so we're glad to have that as well, okay? Level 2 continues for us through this afternoon and evening. That is the level 2 out of 5 for today's severe weather risk. But as this moves through, and if you're in one of these areas that has been rocking and rolling from storms and now it's past you, that's going to be good news because it's going to calm down a little bit. Doesn't mean you won't still experience some conditions, but it's going to improve a lot for you as well, okay? We're going to take you back to live weather radar right now for our nuisance storm that has just been, I'll tell you what, this thing came up through the state line just about near Farmington and coming up from Mississippi, and has been with us and has been a nuisance storm that has just hung on here all afternoon. Some of the other areas starting to see some of this. Now this is going to be, I believe, a new special weather statement. So we want to, excuse me folks, I need to go find a bottle of water here in a second, don't I? Maybe that'll stop all this grunting that I'm doing on the air. Let me walk over here and, yeah, that's what I'm going to do is get a bottle of water. Let's see if we can hear that open there. Yeah. Give me just a second, folks. Let me take a swig. Because the last thing you need in the middle of severe weather is drinking noises from me. Water guzzling over here. Okay, so with a severe thunderstorm watch, of course, continues for another 6 hours. But what I want to try to focus in on, if it will let me, is going to be this special weather statement, because we do have it here on the screen. Come on, guy. Let me see if we can't. Because we have competing. All right, there we go. I've just got to learn how to use it. All right, special weather statement. So this is a strong thunderstorm impacting southwestern Davidson, southern Dixon, northern Murray, Williamson, southeastern Cheatham, and Hickman counties and through 3 o'clock. And so this is a strong thunderstorm over Centerville, the one we've been talking about here for the past few minutes, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. So this guy is moving. But if you're near places like Bon Aqua Junction and you're in Fairview, all along 840, be advised to this one, because even though it has not met the severe threshold, it is still a pretty strong storm. So let me see if we can't pull up at least our latest image here from the WNKX tower. And boy, has that improved. So it shows you just how fast these things are moving through here. And then it starts to improve. Britt, okay, thank you, Britt. You're telling me you're about 5 minutes from downtown Hohenwald. Yeah. Downtown Hohenwald is going to get storms, yes. But are you going to get this kind of area of concentrate, this hail concern that we were seeing over Waynesboro? No. Lawrenceburg, you need to be, Etheridge, you need to be watching this. Summertown, that's where we're likely to see some of the hail activity according to Doppler radar as of right now. So thank you, Britt, for telling me your location, and that we can at least relay what we're seeing on radar to you there. Janie saying Centerville, some strong winds and rain, I bet. And I hope, Janie, that you have escaped the hail. It doesn't look like we've had many reports of that through that area, so that is wonderful. Even though, a little heavy rain, that'll be okay. We can deal with that. It's that damaging hail that we don't want to have in any of the areas, so that's been good for us here this afternoon, okay? So what you're seeing in the blue on your screen is going to be that special weather statement, kind of letting folks know ahead of this storm that has just moved through Centerville, how that's shaping up. And then we also, looks like a new special weather statement happening down Loretto for what's coming up over the state line there from Alabama. So Loretto, Leoma, I want you to watch that. That's coming in through there. And then, of course, we have what's happening here in the Hohenwald area as well. So we're going to stick to this for just a little bit longer because this one is in so much of our coverage area, which includes parts of Hickman County and Spring Hill and Columbia, places like that. So we want to give you kind of a preview of what's going on there. But this is still, it is frustrating how long this has held on, how much this storm line continues to encounter the ingredients it needs to hang on and possibly produce not only frequent lightning, but the possibility of hail as well. As we kind of look in at some of the storm reports, Hendersonville having some hail, it looks like, and report of trees down in Goodlettsville. But we're going to have, I have a feeling, lots of trees down with this, or at least limbs coming down, some of those branches that have just already been damaged from the actual, from the ice storm that we had. Some of the team officials letting us know dime-size hail being reported in Gallatin. So that's going to be with this northern storm here that is still under a severe thunderstorm warning. We have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings active right now in Middle Tennessee. It's going to be over here for the Lebanon area as well. And I believe that in just a second, we are going to be actually going on with our Lebanon folks. So if you'll hang on just a second, we want to get things moving there as well. Because certainly we've seen this move through so many different portions of Middle Tennessee today, being a nuisance here for so many of us, but we are going to track these storms as long as they're with us, okay? Unfortunately, I don't have that side-by-side to give you. I really liked that earlier, being able to show you kind of that side-by-side picture of, of how things were looking from our WNKX HazCam, and then the radar kind of overlay of that. But that's all right. We still have the ability to show this to you, so that's not going to be a problem at all. We also welcome your storm reports this afternoon. If you have any that you want to relay to us, if you had reports of hail in your area, or you've been able to see any like hailstones, like coming down pea-size hail, quarter-size hail, anything like that, we welcome those reports here this afternoon as well. 2 different severe thunderstorm warnings that we are tracking for you right now, both in northern Middle Tennessee, just moving out of the Hendersonville area, as well as Gallatin, Lebanon. We're watching those areas. Parts of Wilson County and Lebanon, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning right now because they have had some trees down with this and some issues with all of that here this afternoon. So that's why that is remaining here this afternoon as well. So that's kind of what we're watching for on that front with that particular storm. And this is the live look, by the way, at Hardin County. I'm sorry for my pauses here, folks. What I'm doing is I'm reviewing some information, just making sure that we have the latest here of the storm reports that we're receiving, and that we're able to bring you the very latest. So I'm here, I promise. I'm not eating lunch or anything. What we're doing is tracking some of these storm reports that are coming in. So I just want to be able to verify things and go into that. So that's how we are looking at things right now. Okay, let's bring it back to radar because I want to show you how things are kind of looking overall. We still have these two severe thunderstorm warnings. Now this one that we're looking at in the northern part of Tennessee, of course, you can see it's still packing a punch there. Very close, by the way, to the National Weather Radar site. So you kind of see how it sprays around, looks like a sunshine, like sunburst around Cedar Grove. We'll put that in the middle of your screen. So that's the actual radar from the National Weather Service there near Old Hickory. And then you can see the cell that they've been really concerned about near Highway 32E. Moving into State Route 109. So Mount Juliet still part of this as well, and that is the area that they're tracking for that particular storm. Where we have a little bit more of a, I would say, concentration of a hail concern is going to be with this severe thunderstorm that we have been tracking now for well over 2 hours that has come through from the Mississippi state line that is moving in here to portions now just south of Summertown, north of Lawrenceburg, Highway 64, that has given us several different warnings and is continuing this particular severe thunderstorm warning for another 34 minutes, as it's then going to be pushing into places like Pulaski and Mount Pleasant, Colioca, moving into Murray County is already still part of this, but expect for more of Murray County to be included in this later on if things hold up like they're holding up right now. So that's going to be what we're tracking for you there, okay? Any storm reports that you have, feel free to send them to us, and we will relay them not only here, but to the National Weather Service as well, as we hope for improving conditions for a lot of these areas. Let's see if we can't bring back, we may have had, yeah, it looks like we've actually had a power outage there with our tower site in Hickman County, which is not surprising, that happens. And so we'll watch there. But where we do have improving conditions, places like Savannah right now looking much better. We sure do like that picture. And we like to see things calming down in Perry County as well, as we have this picture available to us here from downtown Linden, Tennessee. Let's take a look at some of the predictions that are coming in when we talk about timeline and timing and where you may be. We're still in this kind of this part of the state that's under that category, or that I should say number 2, excuse me. The number 2 you see on your screen there from the National Weather Service, this is talking about timing. So we have a lot of this starting up between now and 3 o'clock for central Middle Tennessee. And as we start to push into places East Tennessee, Crossville, Tullahoma, down into Chattanooga, that's going to be a later 4 to 5 o'clock time frame for that to start. But that's how things are looking right now for that area of timing. And of course, we are under a level 2 out of 5 for severe weather. But what we're seeing is, as this moves through, a lot of these severe impacts really start to go away. And that is great news. If you don't want to watch on your phone, by the way, friends, I want to tell you that we do have a couple of different ways for you to watch our coverage. Not only how you're, bringing it in right now, but we also have a free Roku app. So if you do have a Roku TV, look up Access Tennessee. How do I do my? I'm in the mirror right there. Access Tennessee. And then once you open the Access Tennessee app, you'll see SevereView as your first selection right there. And you can stream there on the screen, kind of put us on in the corner. We're okay with that. And if you hear maybe something in your county or your city, you hear us talking about that, then you can give it a glance. We're here to be your companion through severe weather. And that is one of the ways that you can also watch this. If maybe, I know a lot of us want to be on our phones and communicating, figuring out what's going on, maybe track storm reports in our own neighborhood. And so watching long form on Facebook is difficult sometimes, or maybe on YouTube. So we wanted to give you another way to watch our coverage, and that's where it is right now inside the overall Access Tennessee app. And by the way, while you're there, check out some of our sports and news coverage from your community. So that's what's available there to you through the Access Tennessee app. Okay, back to radar we go, and we have a larger picture there of what you see in the blue. If you see these little blue polygons, those are special weather statements where they are wanting folks in places like Brentwood, Franklin, Spring Hill to know about this storm that has just moved through central Hickman County. It's now out of the way of Centerville, but it's moving into some of those areas. And then we have places like Columbia, Murray County. You need to get ready for what's developing here, and still hanging on with this severe thunderstorm warning that is active until, I want to say, 31 more minutes. The severe thunderstorm warning that's here. And we still see the possibility of hail showing up in places like Lawrenceburg. And this is pretty far away, friends, from the National Weather Service radar site in Nashville. So for it to be able to see this hail like it is and all these frequent lightning strikes, that shows you these storms are packing a punch, and they have, as we've been tracking conditions along with you, and you guys have been letting us know of your local storm reports. We appreciate that because it's helping us to convey this information overall. We do have some power lines down in eastern Wayne County near the Natchez Trace. That's what we're being told at this hour. That's there in Wayne County. And still those 60-mile-per-hour gusts happening in some of these areas as well. So really some very interesting storm reports, kind of what's to be expected with a system like this as it's moving its way through. Give me just a second, friends. I'm going to hop off the audio for just a second. I'm going to be back with you in one moment. But hang on, and I'm going to see if we can't also bring back. Now, it looks like we've just absolutely had a little power loss there in portions of Hickman County after this. Let's put this in motion so that way you've got the loop showing you exactly the movement of this storm. I'm going to be back in just a couple of seconds. Hang on with us. I'm going to get a drink of water here and be back with you in just a moment. Stay with me. Our live coverage continues here this afternoon on SevereView and Access Tennessee. My name is Will Nunley, and glad to be with you here this afternoon as we are guiding you through some storms. We've watched some of these severe thunderstorm warnings for more than 2 hours now, especially as they've come up through portions of Mississippi, northern Mississippi, and into our coverage area here, and they were rocking and rolling through Hardin County and beyond, and so had to do a little bit of a reset there just a moment and get some water. Because after you've yacked for 2 hours and talking all afternoon, you get a little thirsty, okay? Let's take you back to radar right now and show you how things are looking. In the Lebanon area, we still have parts of that severe thunderstorm warning active, and it will be still here for another few minutes. Let's actually get the latest, because I think they've drawn a new one. So the one that's really over Wilson County right now, portions of Lebanon, that's going to be allowed to expire in about 11 minutes, but a new one has come up, and that's going to be another 41 minutes on that one, and that's going to be for the severe thunderstorm warning. They're tracking up in almost to the state line there, north of Bethpage and Lafayette, so that's going to be there in Davidson County in those areas, okay? We also have this one, decent storm activity, folks, that is making its way into Williamson County now, and Franklin, I want you to be aware of this, and we're actually starting to see more of a possibility of some hail developing as it is exiting Hickman County. Shady Grove coming into Santa Fe. I want you to be careful there as we start to push this into portions of northern Murray County that we're seeing some indications on radar that we can have all the ingredients. See all that lightning, how it kind of goes around. Look there north of Shady Grove. You can see the purples coming into your screen. And you see all the lightning concentrating in that area. So that's where some of the heaviest storm activity is, of course. And so that's the possibility where we have hail there. And this one I'll tell you what, this thunderstorm just will not give up down here north of Lawrenceburg, between Summertown and Lawrenceburg. So please make sure that you are paying attention in this area as well, because we have plenty of signs there that this could still very much contain a hail core with it. Some strong winds gusts up to 60 miles per hour are possible there. And so if you have any reports that you want to pass along in chat, we welcome you to do that. Just leave your comment below if you have any hail reports from these areas. We welcome you to pass those along to us, and we'll do our best to convey those to your neighbors as well. Improving conditions in places like Perry County. We didn't have a whole lot of a warning for Perry County. It was just kind of concentrated over the Flatwoods area, but we still have plenty of rain, plenty of thunder to accommodate this here this afternoon. This is a live look from our Commodore Hotel Cam there in downtown Linden is how things are looking there, and much improved as well from Savannah, Tennessee, and Hardin County, where we had all of this begin today. So I show you these cameras, folks, because we not only show you the intensity in the middle of the storm, but once things have the ability to kind of go through the area, this is how they improve and how things are looking. So very, very glad to see that as well. Back to radar we go. This is the area of greatest concern when we look at both of the warnings that we have in the state right now. This is going to be the one that's capturing our attention just because of the hail that is associated with this. And so as it starts to move into places like Linville, Giles County, Murray County, I want you to be careful with this. And let's actually put this in motion just a little bit so you can see the movement of this thing. And as we were talking to you earlier, we had some folks asking, how close was this going to come to downtown Homewald, Lewis County? It is much improved. So that's how it's shaping up. We didn't feel like this was going to bring the heaviest of the activity through Homewald, and it did not, which is good news. But those of you in Summertown, Etheridge, especially along Highway 43, I want you to be very, very careful, because especially if you're out driving, if you have the ability, if you're in a really long Highway 43, if you're in Etheridge right now and you have the ability to safely get your car in the carport, do it. Don't want any of this hail to start to pick up. The hail reports that we have received today, friends, have been very light, though. Pea-size hail, which is not going to damage your car, but it could still be a nuisance, so you want to be careful about that. Let's take a look, see if we have any additional storm reports that we need to and that's one of the things the National Weather Service has talked about, is this storm here in the Fairview area because this one's building a little bit too, pushing into very populated areas of Williamson County. So plenty of storm activity to be aware of there, and I would not be shocked if a warning may come for that area, but right now they're not discussing that. So, but still enough to pay attention to, still enough to be a hazard as you're driving home today, all right? So this area of Etheridge and Summertown, be on alert, because we have just this concentrated area of intensity just south of Summertown. And what we're watching for right now are power outages that are being reported all through this area, north of Lawrenceburg, Summertown, lots of power outages reported there. And so that's one of the areas that we want you to be paying attention to. And if you're in this area, really Alexander Springs, Highway 43, those areas you should be inside, absolutely, off the road, absolutely, as this moves through. The good news is these storms are moving in, moving very quickly at about 55 miles per hour in an easterly, northeasterly fashion. So they are moving through at a decent pace, but the intensity has not been lost with a lot of this, especially this storm that we have just watched come through. And this is it that you're seeing north of Etheridge. I'm going to bring the radar out just a little bit, because I want to take you all the way back here to, you know, areas of Selmer. This is how far we've been tracking this one storm. And it is, of course, the leading edge of the cold front, but it has not backed down. And so right now what we're trying to determine, Laura says you need a cough drop. Yeah, no kidding. So Alexander Springs, all of these areas. Now this was a little bit of improvement here with this last scan, and I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see it break up a little bit. But we still have a lot of wind concern here. We still have that hail concern, and just look at all those. Can you see those little flashes of lightning on your screen? I'm sorry for the pixelization, everybody. By the way, that's something that's a translation we're having from our computer to the screen. It is not your TV screen. We'll get that fixed for you just as soon as we can, but it's not something I want to do while we're in the middle of coverage. But anything there along Highway 43, south of Summertown, Alexander Springs, Weber City, that is the heaviest of the storm activity, and that is the heaviest concentration of lightning and the greatest possibility of hail. We had some of that hail concern dissipate just a little bit with that latest scan, but we'll watch for it to refresh here in just a moment and see how that's looking, okay? Let's back this out just a little bit more. Places like southern Murray County, north of Pulaski, Waco, all those places. I need you, State Route 166, I need you to be aware of this continuing to push into your area. And as we give this radar a little bit of motion right now and start to move it through, and again, what you're seeing here is a time lapse from about the past hour or so. So you're going to see what you're seeing there is this progression through Alexander Springs, coming into southern Murray County, and I believe that's going to be very northern parts of Giles County. So what we're looking at right now is to see if any of this is producing rotation. So there's a little bit of a discussion right now happening with the National Weather Service to see if this storm isn't, if some of the wind with this isn't going to be producing a little bit more of a concern with rotation, okay? Which means we could be seeing a different type of warning issued if that develops. So we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, and I want to make sure that we give the meteorologist the chance to make that call, of which I am not. So we're going to relay what is coming into us from the National Weather Service and office in Nashville, which is watching this particular storm, and not get ahead of some of their observations and judgments there. But when we talk about what's happening just north of Etheridge right here, That's going to be the ongoing area of concern. Let's get you the very latest scans. So we're going to put a pause on this. And when we refresh this, this is going to be the very latest kind of scan that comes into the area. And all from south of Summertown up through Etheridge, that area right there, right over Alexander Springs, continues to be the area that we are watching for not only heavy lightning and hail, but could these wind gusts that have been hitting 60 miles per hour, could some of that begin rotating? So that's what we want to watch for you here this afternoon, okay? Let's kind of show you around a little bit, take you, just to show you, by the way, that it is not your screen, because when we pull up our cameras, we have a nice, pretty look of how things look there on the Savannah HazCam. Looking much better here this afternoon. And some of these pictures on our screens here that are giving us a much better view of some of the areas that have seen impactful weather here this afternoon. But I want you to continue to pay attention to this with what's happening with this storm that is in North Lawrence County. Looks like they're going to go ahead and continue forward with a new severe thunderstorm warning. And so this is going to take things well into Lewisburg, okay? And this is being given a tornado possible tag, okay? Right now we don't have any damage reports in the Etheridge area, but what the National Weather Service is trying to determine at this point is if the data, because this is very far away from their particular radar site, and so what they're calculating right now, what they're trying to do is to get in damage reports. If you're watching us and you're in one of these areas and you've had damage, if you look outside and you're in places like just south of Summertown, Alexander Springs in the Etheridge area, and you have any damage reports, please relay those to us so that we can get that information out to the National Weather Service, because what they're trying to determine right now is if there is rotation. And the way these radar beams work, of course, you may have your radar located here just outside of Nashville, and it starts to scan the atmosphere, and as the beams go out, because of the curvature of the earth, they head to the north just a little bit. They start to point up. And so when you have some of the rotation and things like that may happen in the lower levels of the atmosphere between where that radar beam is scanning, there could be a gap in the data. And so what they're relying on right now are some of the reports from some storm spotters and some other storm agencies in that area, but also you at home. And if you have anything to relay, even significant trees down, even if part of a metal roof was taken off a shed, anything like that is important information, because that's how they determine if there is going to be, if these winds were enough and possibly had some rotation with them, because that changes the classification of what we're looking at here. The tornado ingredients have been on the lower side today, but they've still kept that possibility in the forecast for this reason, because we could start to see those develop really at any time with some of these thunderstorms. So I believe if we look at what has come in with this latest severe thunderstorm warning here, we have 43 minutes left on this very brand new severe thunderstorm warning, which I need to go over with you, by the way. But there is what they've gone ahead is put a tornado possible tag on this. So reports of power outages there in Etheridge, but again, was it just routine kind of branches coming down? And I know that's very hard for you to see on your screen, folks, so we're going to go ahead and I can take that off your screen, because you're not going to be able to see that very well. But basically this severe thunderstorm warning is going to be in effect for the next 43 minutes. And this is going to move it into places like Colioca, Lewisburg, just north of Waco. I want you to be Cornersville. All these areas need to be paying attention to what happened here with this storm that has gained intensity, lost intensity, and now it's still a pretty strong storm, enough for them to continue probably what has been the fourth or fifth severe thunderstorm warning associated with this line of storms. And as we back things out, I'm going to do this real quick and show you what we're looking at on a larger picture here. So once you get through this, areas like Hohenwald, you're looking good. You can have some rain, but that's it. You're looking good for the rest of the night. Perry County, Hardin County, Wayne County now, you're all looking good. You're going to have some rain. We could still have a couple rumbles of thunder throughout the night. But this is the line. This is the line that's causing the concern. This is the line that is producing these warnings right now. So that's what we're paying closest attention to as it moves through just south of Columbia, Murray County, near Summertown, now pretty much through the Summertown area, but this is beginning to be a concern for Lewisburg as well, Culleoka, Mount Pleasant, just south of Mount Pleasant, as a matter of fact. You can kind of see now where our system, our WeatherWise radar system here, is starting to draw a little bit of a line. Let me bring this in here closer to you. Get you some of the more areas: Gibsonville, Big Creek, Highway 245, State Route 166. I'll hold this steady so that way you can kind of see this. So this is, when you are in a severe thunderstorm warning and we are able to show you things like these areas of hail over places like Jonestown right now, Big Creek, that is a concentration of lightning, that is a concentration of those hail cores, and it's intense in some of those places. And if you start to get that wind rotating, that's when we start to have other warnings issued. We're not there yet. The National Weather Service is still bringing in a lot of information right now. They're not seeing, and we are not seeing on this particular radar scan, any of those hooks that they start to be concerned about. But they're still relying, because this is so far away from their radar. Some of these ground confirmation reports from storm spotters in the area, those trained storm spotter classes they have, that's when a lot of that happens to be valuable in times like this, because it gives them a chance to get that information in, to do some ground confirmation of some things, and then say, did this, what's the history of the storm? Is it enough to produce the types of damage reports in situations where we need to escalate what's happening here? But I'll tell you, if you're in areas like Big Creek right now, Highway 245 near State Route 166, Gibsonville, Highway 166, I should say, get off the road for this right now, because you still have the possibility of so many weakened trees and tree limbs in these areas falling down on the car, coming down the road in front of you when you don't have a chance to react. So if it's possible to just wait this out, these are moving through at about 50 miles per hour, so they're moving through pretty quick. So just give them a chance to go ahead and move through and avoid those hazards, because this storm is changing, as they all do. They're living living things. So, but this has been the area that is now under a new severe thunderstorm warning, with the heart of it right there in just the lightest places there in Giles County. I'm reviewing some storm reports, friends. Hang on with me. Yeah. So this northwestern corner of Giles County is where you need to be in your, in home at least, I would say, and in home and off the road while this goes through and while they kind of evaluate some of the storms. So that's what we've got happening right there in that area. And we see a little bit of this breaking up on this latest scan that just came through. Well, and when I say a little bit breaking up, I'm talking about what we had with that just overwhelming, intense hail core. We started to see, the black on the screen. That's not good, folks, when we've run out of the different types of colors to describe the intensity. So that's what that is indicating and what they're worried about. Brandon saying you lost power in Summertown. Brandon, absolutely, I believe that. that. It's not going to take much right now with the conditions we've had with a lot of these storms to lose power and these branches bringing things down. And speaking of losing power and regaining it again, ta-da! Our Centerville camera is back alive on top of the WNKX tower. Fortunately, it did stay alive long enough for us to show you earlier what was happening as the storm itself made through. But folks, if you're in it right now in some of these areas of severe weather, if you're in the Big Creek area, if you're in Gibsonville, and you're wanting to know if there's calm behind all this here in a minute, there is. These storms are moving rather quickly, so they are going to get better on the other side, all right? I'm going to be with you just a little bit longer, but I will tell you that once we start to get into some of these other areas, our coverage will be picked up by some of the meteorologists and some of the agencies that are a little bit closer to some of these areas. That includes our friends at Tennessee Valley Weather, as well as your Nashville TV station. So as you start to move into Lewisburg, this is a little bit out of our typical coverage area, at least right now. But you know, with SevereView, of course, we can bring you anything across the state, and we're certainly prepared to do that. But when we talk about where our digital partners are, where our radio station partners are, a lot of those are centered in the heart of Middle Tennessee and in Centerville, Perry County, Wayne County, Decatur County. A lot of that is where our coverage is kind of centered and where we have our camera network built out. And so I certainly want to invite you to follow meteorologists that may be in some of these other areas, like in Tennessee Valley Weather, and certainly your Nashville, your trusted partners at your Nashville TV stations. If you're over in Murfreesboro, Rutherford County, I invite you to look up Rutherford Weather, Rutherford Severe Weather. Our friend Brian at WGNS, he's probably already on the horn there because he's watching what's coming in over Franklin. And so that's going to be an opportunity for you to, let's widen this picture here and show you a little bit more of what's happening on a larger regional picture of radar. So you can see that these are the areas that we're watching right now. And it looks like that has gone from a special weather statement earlier to a severe thunderstorm warning for the next 34 minutes for portions of Spring Hill, Franklin, all along 840 there as well. So expect that warning if all of this continues to hold up. Just because we have so many people in these areas, so much concentration of population, and we still have areas that are weakened because we have infrastructure and I just, you know, say trees, things like that, that are weakened because of the ice storm. That they may be able to hold up under certain conditions normally, but now because of this, it's just a little bit more difficult to hold together because of how weak some of these trees are. So that's really going to be an area of concern here this afternoon. I have some damage reports to tell you about, friends, here, because there are some customers out in places like Lawrenceburg, the emergency management office there in Lawrence County, letting us know that they do have some power outages, decent amount of power outages there. Lawrence County reporting some wind damage as well. So this is... you hate to see this, but there are some reports of building damage, things like that, happening there in Lawrence County that has been reported out. So emergency management office letting us know that as well. We still have several, and I think I mentioned this a moment ago, but we're still getting several damage reports in from the Etheridge area. A lot of this has moved through there now. A lot of the intensity has moved through there. It's very much in that severe thunderstorm warning area, but when we kind of come back here to Etheridge, this is where we may have had a little bit of a rotation, certainly enough of a gust of wind to do a little bit of building damage there in the Etheridge area. Let me scan over some reports here and I'll bring that to you. I'm still with you, folks. We're just kind of going through some of this. Some of these damage reports because we want to track some of this just to see what may have happened through there. And again, with these storms, when you have a front like this, you can have straight line winds come through that do damage, and so it kind of relies on site surveys that will happen afterwards to see what could have caused that damage, what may have been the source of that, because there's all kinds of different factors. So that's one of the things that they're looking at here at this hour. But either way you look at it, you need to be careful with this severe thunderstorm warning that's now going to start pushing into the Lewisburg area. And so if you're in Lewisburg, areas south of Chapel Hill, be alert to that. Franklin, you still have a nice storm, Brentwood, rocking and rolling there along I-65 and 840 that could cause some concern through there as well. So those are our areas right now that we are continuing to track for you. But I will tell you that we will be wrapping up our local coverage here in just a little while. Excuse me, friends. Sorry about that. I've been talking so long that I lost part of my battery for my my batteries ran out on my microphone. Anyway, yeah, we're still going. Okay, but that's the area that we're looking at that may have a little bit of a history of producing damage, and that's going to be down there in that Etheridge area. So we'll continue to track some of those reports. I'm going to do some presto changeos with batteries while I'm here with you, friends, because I've now lost my monitor. That's what happens when you're on the air for hours at a time, is even the batteries start to give out. So that's what we're dealing with right now, if you hear all this happening in the background. There we go. All right, we're back in business. Okay, this is live severe weather coverage this afternoon from Severe Weather, SevereView, and Access Tennessee, as we're watching a couple of different areas of concern from portions of southern Middle Tennessee, Spring Hill, and Columbia, Murray County. So we're working to bring you the very latest on these conditions here this afternoon, and we're about to be out of what we would consider a lot of our core coverage area. So we're going to be leaving you shortly, and we invite you to watch not only some of our friends in Nashville, but Tennessee Valley Weather as well, as they continue coverage, because they're going to have access to a few more weather cameras and things like that we may not be able to bring you in real time. So that may be what we're going to leave you with. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, folks. Thanks for streaming along with us and being here with us. We hope that we've been able to keep you and your family safe here this afternoon as you have been streaming along with us. We also invite you to find SevereView, our weather channel, inside the Access Tennessee app, and that is available inside your Roku store. So if you're a Roku TV viewer, you can find Access Tennessee there, and that will be the best way to find us for this long-form coverage. An improving view now of Centerville and Hickman County from our camera there. We will continue to post on the SevereView Facebook page, so if you have Facebook and want to follow us along there, we welcome that as well. That's going to be under SevereView, all one word. SevereView Tennessee Weather is where you can find that information. All right, so thank you so much, friends, for streaming along with us here this afternoon. We are going to leave you here shortly. I'm going to keep the radar loop going for a while, because we know that even if you're not in the immediate area, maybe you have friends and family down that area and down that way, and you want to keep tabs on things. We're happy to do that, no problem. We're going to keep things going on our Roku channel as well, and so we'll just kind of go through a few different things and have you several different things to look at here this afternoon. So don't worry, we're not going to go anywhere with that. I'm going to make sure that we are loading everything up here for you. And I think we're good to go. All right, so friends, I appreciate you being here with us this afternoon very much and choosing SevereView and Access Tennessee, or your companion during severe weather coverage here in our area. And we will be back on if conditions warrant, and we invite you to join our friends at WKRN in Nashville or WSMV in Nashville for ongoing severe weather coverage. Stay safe.